Atlanta, Georgia, October 12, 2017. A quote from Jamal Penn. It was like a real horror movie. It was like Friday the 13th. He would immediately call the police. The father had been sent a video of his children after they had been placed in the oven and cooked by their own mother. 24-year-old Lamore Williams and their 3-year-old sibling had watched the horror story right in front of him. Her 4th child, a girl, had been staying with relatives. She would angle the camera and she would show their father the aftermath of his children laying dead on the floor. It was tragic and heartbreaking. Lamore would call the police and she told them she got home from work and the oven had fell over on her sons and their, quote, brains on the floor, unquote. She wanted the 911 operator to be assured that she wasn't going to jail. The 911 operator could not reassure that. Neighbors in the apartment, they would say the odor, it smelled like death. The police would show up and they went to her apartment and she told them that her cousin had been watching her kids for the past 12 hours. It didn't take long for the police to realize she wasn't telling the truth, and she was arrested. Her mother would ask the police that she be placed on suicide watch. What would make a mother put her 2 babies in the oven and cook them? Her mother, the boy's grandmother, Brenda Williams, was quoted as saying, "My daughter is a sick person. If she did what I think she did, more isn't right. She hasn't been right. What happened 3 months ago with the kid's father? He left her. I told them something tragic was going to happen." Lenora's mother and sister worried if the boys were eating, if things were okay. Apparently, she wasn't well after the breakup. The father said he was still assisting with the children financially, but no one would ever think of this happening. Before calling the police, Lenora had called a close female friend of hers and she stated, quote, "I can't do it anymore. The children have died," unquote. Her friend advised her to call the police. The father was quoted at the visual saying, "I ain't got no more soul." How devastating is this? It's a nightmare. The ones that were the closest to these babies, the father, the grandmother, the aunts, the siblings, they will never completely bounce back 100%. Family members suggested she had struggled with mental illness all her life. They suggested she might have been struggling with postpartum depression. In her younger years, she was pulled out of school and homeschooled. She was having difficulties keeping up. She had also attempted suicide. She was in a relationship where she had miscarried the baby, and after that relationship ended, she would meet Jamal, and they would have 3 sons. In 2017, the father said every time he closes his eyes, he sees the images. Lamore Williams has not been sentenced, but since this happened, she does still remain in jail. This was over 4.5 years ago, and this is one of the cases that I will never forget. Rest in peace, Keontae Penn, age 2, and rest in peace, Jakarta Penn, age 1.